What up, guys? Your boy Quake back with a brand new episode of the Diverse Mentality Podcast, number 301, powered by the one and only Golden Eagle Energy Drink. Get your Golden Eagle Energy Drinks at drinkgoldeneagle.com/DMP. That's drinkgoldeneagle.com/DMP. They've sponsored all season 4 of the podcast, so show them love for showing us love. Now, let's get into it. Before I get into the crazy news that's happening, some funny stuff because, well, not really funny stuff. It's a serious things that happen, but it's funny because, I was just calling this guy out for doing stupid shit earlier in like a few previous episodes of the podcast, and he gets, hit with something else, and karma, that's all this is, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I just dropped like a mini documentary, and it was out of nowhere. I didn't plan it. It was just something that, I knew I could put together fairly quickly. And what it is it's a breakdown of 50 Cent's Mini Men track. The reason why I did that is because Mini Men is obviously trending. I mean, it went on the U.S. iTunes top 10 chart at number 7, which is crazy because of the Donald Trump assassination attempt. So because of that, people were using the track as a meme and just, writing jokes with it, and that Donald Trump would come out with that song playing in the background in his next rally, so on and so forth. So to capitalize on all that momentum, I was like, why not drop the Get Rich or Die Trying documentary that I made, the portion that I made where we talked about the Mini Men track, why not drop that portion as its own separate thing with a little bit more added information? If you watch the new mini documentary, I don't know what I titled it. I think how 50 Cent used Mini Men to prove to Supreme he wasn't a snitch, because that's basically with the homo lines, that's what he did. I kind of use a lot of that Get Rich or Die Trying clips that are in the documentary, but I also add things here and there. And also, there's a new interview by AGTV. Shout out to him. He did an interview with a former NYPD police officer whose name is, I think, Bill. I'm probably going to forget his name. Let me get his name right now. It's like Bill Courtney or something. Bill Courtney, yeah, Bill Courtney. He's a former NYPD police officer, and he did a lot of work on the Supreme situation in New York, especially with Murder Inc. and 50 Cent. And he talked about how, 50 thinks it was homo. It wasn't homo. It was Robert Son Leon's, which is Ja Rule's bodyguard, who actually shot at 50. Who ordered the hit was obviously Supreme. But, all that, he talks about it. So with that new interview that came out, I obviously talked to AGTV. I was like, hey, can I use that clip to kind of tie it into this Mini Men thing? So it's some new stuff in there, too. Really cool interview. I used some of it. If you guys want to watch the full thing, you can go to his channel at AGTV. But I used some of it for my little mini documentary. So check it out. Support that because, with that, hopefully it brings more traffic to the Get Rich or Die Trying documentary, and we can finally crack 1 million views. I know it's at like 904,000 right now. I still haven't made the money back from what I put in the documentary. Had I made the money back, I would have tried to really push to do another one of these album type documentaries. But, I reached out to Lloyd Banks, about doing one, and just never really got a response. With Banks, it's been a little like, he's cool in terms that, he will respond, but then you just we'll never get anything that we say we're going to do done. He said we'll do the interview, and it just never happens. And then, with this documentary thing, never received a response on there. So, same with Young Buck, actually. So I'm not even blaming on Banks either. Buck as well. I tried to talk to his manager, never talked to Buck directly, unfortunately, but talked to his manager, said, yeah, we're going to make it happen. Let's do it. And just never anything happened. And that's the thing with a lot of these, artists or situations that you try to do these pieces of documentaries, and, people will say they'll try to make it happen, but it just never ends up happening, unfortunately, which is, missed opportunity, man. I think if I was an artist, right, unless I was a multimillionaire, like a 50 Cent level, right? 50 Cent doesn't need me. None of these artists really need me, and I don't need them. That's really the reality of it, right? A lot of my content that I've done hasn't relied, actually 99, besides the Get Rich or Die Trying documentary, literally every single documentary hasn't relied on any other like celebrity artist or person. It's just been my research, and that's it, if I can remember correctly, pretty much. I don't need the artists, and the artists don't really need me, but I think for an artist in terms of like Buck and Banks, like these artists that, aren't at the level of 50 Kanye and all these huge, that make hundreds of millions of dollars like it's nothing, they should use that as an opportunity to kind of capitalize on, how Banks did the Hunger for More merch drop for the 20th anniversary of the album. Dude, we could have done the documentary. I would have paid for the whole documentary. You don't have to spend a single dime on anything. And we would have promoted the merch as well. Like, that would have been a huge promotion for the merch. It would have been a huge, just like, excitement for the album. Maybe it boosts sales, streams again. Like, there's opportunities there that would have been really cool. But just is what it is. Anyways, yeah, check out the little mini documentary. Support it. Like, comment, share, and all that stuff. Because, the bigger that little clip gets, the more that hopefully traffic goes to the main Get Rich or Die Trying documentary. I've been meaning to split that documentary up into clips because it's a super long documentary, and, why not try to split into clips to get more revenue in terms of, to try to recoup all the money that I spent on that. The best thing would be to try to split up some clips. So if you see me split up clips and see me post, portions of it on the channel, just know that I'm doing it because, I'm trying to just recoup the money. I've only recouped about 50% of it, which is pretty good. It's not bad. But I would like 100% because then I can just take that and just put it towards a different one and do more of these. I am working on one, which I don't want to say, that involves somebody really big that's related to the story that I'm working on. And I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know what to expect out of that because I just started talking to that person about it. But if we can get this, if I can get that going and actually get something really, really cool with that, then, it'll be another one of these type of Get Rich or Die Trying style documentaries where I'm actually going to talk to the person and boots on the ground type of content. That's what I've always strived for. And I think just doing research, is cool, but most YouTubers can do that. Now, they can add their own style, flavor to it, but, most YouTubers can't do what I did with the Get Rich doc because that's you going boots on the ground, you meeting people, you talking, traveling all over America. I didn't just stay in Atlanta. I went to New York, Vegas, Houston, obviously here in Atlanta. I think that's it for locations, and Miami. So I can always forget Miami. That's because I hired somebody in Miami. I actually wasn't there, like, physically, because I just couldn't make it to all those locations in the time frame that we had. Yeah, all that to say, support that little mini documentary dropped on the main channel. I'd really appreciate it. Now, let's get into the news. And actually, first, before we get into the news, I want to talk about the Eminem album. I was going to talk about it on this podcast, but because of the whole theory that's gone around of the death of Slim Shady is an album that you're supposed to listen to in reverse because, Marshall doesn't kill Slim Shady. It's actually Slim Shady that kills Marshall. And that there's a deluxe version coming out where it's flipped around. There's this whole theory going on. So I've listened to it in reverse. I'm kind of, analyzing that if that has any merit to it. So I don't want to talk about the album right now and give my 100% rating on it. The sales as projected to do is really good. It's great numbers. But I will, if I am going to talk about it, let's do it on Twitter Spaces. So if you're not following me on Twitter, follow at QuakeGW. We'll do it on Twitter Spaces. And then if I don't get what I want out of Twitter Spaces, because it'll be my first time doing it, I don't know what to expect. I don't even know if people are going to join. Might just be 10 people that join. Who knows? Might be hundreds of people that join. No idea. First time doing it. So, we'll try on there. We'll talk about the album. I'll get other people's kind of opinions and feedback on there. And then I'll talk about it on the podcast, potentially on Sundays when I record on Sunday and the episode drops Monday. So Monday's episode. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I just wanted to clear that and get it out the way so you guys don't think, Quake didn't talk about it, blah, blah, blah. Let's get into the news. Young Thugg's RICO trial. Chaos continues as the new judge recuses herself. So, throughout this gap of days that I didn't record, this is the thing. When I record the podcast twice a week, there's always going to be news in between. That may seem a little old if it's a day or two, which is not a big deal. But basically, the judge, the original judge got recused, left. They're looking for a new judge. They hired a new judge. It was a black female judge, and a lot of people were criticizing, saying, "Oh, Young Thug is finished because black female judges are very harsh on black men," so on and so forth. But she's also recused herself. She did it herself. She didn't even have to go through anything, or she just was like, I don't want nothing to do with it. So let's go over the article. Young Thug and the YSL's long-running racketeering trial took yet another wild turn as the new judge took herself off the case due to a perceived conflict of interest. On Wednesday, July 17th, Judge Shakura Ingram, who had been randomly assigned to the case just 2 days prior, wrote an order recusing herself. In it, she explains that her former deputy is the same person who was accused over a year ago. of sneaking contraband to one of the YSL defendants, Christian Eppinger. Wow. As a result of the incident, Eppinger's case was severed from the rest of the defendants because this court's former assigned deputy could be called as a witness in any future proceedings. In this case, the court may be called upon to assess this deputy's credibility or rule on matters related to her criminal prosecution, Ingram wrote. This may undermine the public's confidence in the impartiality of the proceedings. No new judge has been announced as of this writing. Ingram was on the case in the first place because Judge Uriel Glanville, who had been overseeing the trial since its beginning, was removed on Monday, July 15th. Thugg's lawyer, Brian Steele, had filed a motion to dismiss him. Yeah, we talked about that multiple podcasts. But, yeah. So, again, they're having issues finding another judge, so we'll see what happens moving forward. I think if they don't find a judge in time, they're definitely going to, restart this whole trial, which is going to take, man, you guys already see what's going on with YNW Melly. Like, that guy's getting started in 2025. So if this ends up, they can't find a judge, they can't find things to go smooth and proper, then they're going to restart this whole thing, and it's going to be hell, man. He's going to be locked up for another, 2 to 3 years, and, we'll see what happens moving forward from there. But, yeah, we'll keep our eyes posted and see. Hopefully, they actually find somebody and there's no conflict of interest on either sides of the spectrum, whether the prosecutors or defendants. We'll see, though. Mr. Poopy Butthole, a.k.a. Lil Reese. Oh, man. This is another guy that I just have lost all respect for. I used to think, this guy was dope because, he's on the track I don't like. He's got the track Traffic with Chief Keef and, Old Block and all this stuff, right? But, he scammed his fans multiple times with a cryptocurrency coin that he launched for thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. There's no way to 100% track how much money he scammed his fans for, but ever since then, obviously, I've grown to dislike him. Anybody who does that to their fan base, people that actually support you, you are a piece of shit. It's just that simple. There's nothing really, if, ands, or buts about it. Now, after doing that, guess what? What did I tell you guys on the podcast? Karma always comes back around. Always. Whether you're good or bad, there's going to be karma. Always. Whether it's in this life or the next life, there's always going to be karma. And what's happened is Mr. Poopy Butthole has been accused of raping, yes, raping a female. Let's go over the article. Lil Reese has maintained his innocence after being arrested for an alleged rape in Los Angeles. According to TMZ, the Chicago rapper went on a date with a woman this past weekend, and afterwards they went back to a hotel where the woman claims Reese insisted on them having sex. According to the police, the woman rejected his advances before Reese forced himself on her and raped her. The alleged victim then went down to the lobby of the hotel and notified police in the early hours of Sunday, July 14th. Shortly afterwards, Reese was arrested while still at the hotel on suspicion of sexual assault and rape. The 31-year-old was released on $100,000 bond, which is basically if you pay a bail bondsman, he basically paid $10,000, which he probably got from stealing from his fans because he's just that type of person. And as already, he's broke. That's why if you have to steal from your fans, you're a broke boy. And he has already used his time free from jail to refute the rape accusations. On Instagram, he wrote, "On my sister Riri, the whole story cap and made up. Fuck, I look like this ain't that. I know better. In the same way y'all posting that shit, make sure y'all post the case. Get thrown out on my court date. They do anything for clout and trying to come up. Try again." So he's denying it. He's saying, I didn't do it, blah, blah, blah. Right? I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Mr. Poopy Butthole, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that you didn't do this. We'll see as time goes on. But the female immediately, reported it. So it's not like she waited weeks and I know how people say, oh, why did Cassie take all this time on Diddy and all. This female immediately did it. So clearly, I don't know, something's there. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And I've heard a lot of things about you, Reese. A lot of things that aren't good. So I just, listen, I have no issues. We've never had any issues with Lil Reese. I just don't like, if you're going to, stealing from people is just not right, man. Don't do that. Don't be a piece of shit. People that support you, don't steal from them, man. And I'm willing to have a conversation with him. If he's like, yo, I didn't steal from fans. I didn't rape. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. I'm a perfect person. Hey, we can have the conversation. But I definitely don't rock with you based off all these things. And this is karma. Even if you didn't, let's just say you didn't do it. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. You did not do this, right? Right, Mr. Poopy Butthole? You didn't do this. Well, that's karma. There you go. You're stealing from innocent people, hardworking people that are fans that support you. These are fans that think, oh, you launched a coin. Let me support my favorite artist in their cryptocurrency coin, and maybe they can use that coin and actually utilize it for something. You know, like Waka Flocka is doing, like Iggy Azalea is doing, like Jason Derulo is doing. They launched a coin and are using that coin to be able to do stuff with it, not scamming their fans. You know, had you gone that route, I doubt this would have even happened because you would have been too busy working on pushing that damn coin and elevating that instead of worrying about getting some pussy at some random ass hotel with some random girl. See, when your priorities are fucked up, see what happens, Mr. Poopy Butthole? And I'm going to keep calling you Mr. Poopy Butthole. If you don't know why I'm calling him that, he got his ass jumping, he shit his pants. That's why I'm calling him Mr. Poopy Butthole. He doesn't deserve respect. Somebody who steals from hard-working people day in and day out that supported him, by the way. These are his fans that supported him. He's a garbage person. There's no way to look at him. And that's karma. This is karma, whether you did it or not, Mr. Poopy Butthole. This is karma, Mr. Poopy Butthole. That's all it is. And I was elated. I was happy as hell. I damn near bought a champagne bottle. I was so close. Because this is direct. Like, if there's nothing that tells you karma is real, this does. Like, this just happened weeks after this. And he's still, by the way, there's Fredo Bang, another rapper that got into this crypto shit and decided to scam his fans. And guess what's the worst part about Fredo Bang, a.k.a. Fredo Dang? You're that fucking broke. That's what your name should be called, Fredo Dang. Because you scammed your fans. Let me see what the amount is. I'm tired of this shit, man. I can't wait till these documentaries come out of me calling all these motherfuckers out for this shit. I get this. This is what gives cryptocurrency a bad name, because it's not a bad, cryptocurrency isn't bad. It's a very, very useful thing that's going to obviously be part of the future. But here's the thing. This is how much of a loser Fredo Dang, you broke as fuck, is. He launched this coin, rugged it, and guess how much he rugged. Rugged means like you launch it. The second it goes up, you own most of the supply, right? So then you pull out all your supply, and then it goes automatically down. And when the market cap goes down, obviously the person that invested when it was going up loses all their money. Like, that's just the reality situation. That's what rugging is. When the person who owns most of the supply, which is usually the person that launched the coin, they pull all their supply out. And that's why it's important for, I can get into all that a little bit later, but that's why it's important for the developer to burn the tokens as time goes on. But he rugged, literally, this is for how much money he did this for, $301.52. That's how much Fredo Dang, you broke as fuck, did that for. Now, what is Fredo Dang going to say? He's going to probably say, I got hacked, I didn't do it, this and that, you know, the so on and so forth, right? The only ones that you believe actually, you know, got hacked are the ones that are really, really, really rich. Like, we're talking 50 Cent, who is really, really, really rich. We're talking about Sydney Sweetie, that actor who got her account hacked. Really, really rich. She 50, or any other major celebrity that gets hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars in monthly, like it's nothing, would not go on launch a coin and rug for a couple $100,000 or even $2 to $3 million. That's just not worth the reputation of something. Like, why would you build a reputation of scamming people for what? To make a couple $1 million? Like, to them, that's nothing. That's why I don't believe, like, and plus the activity, when a page gets hacked, the activity is different than when it's an actual artist doing it or a person doing it. You know, you could tell the difference. But he's still pushing his garbage-ass coin right now, I think. He launched his Telegram group. He took the coin out. You know, he's talking about, you know, a lot of these celebrities, man, garbage, man. He had a hit record with Baby or whatever. I don't even remember the fucking song. That's how much. But yeah, brokies. That's all it is. Broke boys that, you know, trying to maintain their lifestyle and their money's going down. So they're, you know, what's their last resort? Let me squeeze every penny I can out of the only people that support me, which is my fans, and take money from them. Hardworking 9-to-5 people that have never tasted millions of dollars like you guys, you rappers that do this bullshit ass scamming. You guys have tasted the good life. You guys fucked it up. That's the thing. You guys fucked your own lives up. You guys got millions of dollars when you guys became famous and had hit records, and instead of being smart with the money and invested it in buying houses and, you know, investing in companies or investing in stocks, you fuckers bought chains and dumb shit and wasted all your money, and now that you're broke and you can't maintain a lifestyle, you decide to scam your own fans, the people that made you rich in the first place. This is why I get pissed off about this shit. These are people that support you and made you rich in the first place, and you're stealing from them and tricking them. Like, how much of a dirtbag piece of shit do you have to be? Literally, like, there's no, like, I get passionate about this because it pisses. I don't like to see people that are genuinely people that are supporting, that are good people, that are living their life day to day, 9 to 5, that some of these people struggle, but they still support who they like, and they get scammed, rugged from these fucking losers who don't know how to maintain their money, who don't know how to properly manage their money, and they're trying to keep this bullshit-ass lifestyle up. Listen, you go broke, you went broke, that's your fault. Learn from it. And if you can become a millionaire once, you can become a millionaire twice. There's nobody saying that, hey, if you become broke one time, it's over for you, right? What did Mark Cuban say? I love this saying that Mark Cuban had. He was like, listen, I became a billionaire, but that was out of luck because billionaire is such a rare, like only, I don't know how many people are billionaires, maybe 1,000, 1,500 people. I think, I don't know. Let me see, how many billionaires? Okay, so I was a little bit low, but 3,194 official billionaires worldwide. That's it. And there are over 8 billion people on this planet Earth, and only 3,194 are actually billionaires. Publicly, obviously. There might be some private ones that we don't know about, but publicly, 3,000, that's such a small, that's 0.001%. So the chances of somebody becoming a billionaire, very slim. Mark Cuban said, listen, if I lose all my money today, I won't become a billionaire again because it just takes sheer luck. Timing, that's just all that is. But he's like, I could become a millionaire again. I can make it back like that because I'm just a hustler like that. And you guys talk about all this hustling in music. Every day I'm hustling. Shout out to William. But you guys scam. You guys try to get money the other way by scamming your own fans, your own supporters. Garbage, man. Instead, build a community with your supporters. You know, help them. Teach them how to make money. Feed them, too. Don't just make money and say, fuck them. That's fucked up. But yeah, enough of the ranting. Mr. Poopy Butthole, that's karma for you. And we'll keep our eyes posted, man. Hey, I'll report. Hey, if the case gets dropped and Reese never did it, I'll report on it, and I'll still call him Mr. Poopy Butthole because he still scams his fans. But I'll say, you know what? Hey, you wash your hands of that. It is what it is, right? But yeah, we'll keep our eyes posted and see what happens. Updates on Chinx's murder. Yes, this is a long time coming. This is what I'm talking about. It takes a while for a lot of these cases to move forward, and people get finally put in prison and, you know, finally charged and blah, 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 blah. So let's go over the article. One of the 2 men accused of murdering Chinx has pleaded guilty to manslaughter and could face up to 23 years behind bars. According to court documents viewed by Hip Hop DX, 32-year-old Quincy Homer entered a guilty plea in New York City courtroom on Monday, July 15th. First-degree manslaughter is a Class B felony, which is punishable by up to 25 years in prison. Chinx's widow, Janelle Cadiz, told Fox 5 NY's Lisa Evers she is grateful to the NYPD, the Queens DA, and friends and fans for keeping his memory and his music alive. Chinx was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting in Queens, New York in 2015. He was 31. In December 2017, well over 2 years after Chinx's death, Homer and fellow suspect Jamar Hill were arrested and charged with second-degree murder, second-degree attempted murder, first-degree assault, and second-degree criminal possession of a weapon. According to New York Police Lieutenant Richard Rudolph, the pair allegedly hunted down Chinx like an animal over a dispute that arose while the rapper and Homer were both incarcerated at Rikers Island in 2009. Yeah, so finally, I don't know what took the guy. They got arrested in 2017. It is 2024. If my math is correctly, I'm horrible at math. Probably 7 years, 8 years later. Basically 7 years, yeah. 7 years for finally one person to get charged officially with it. Yeah, and manslaughter, to be honest with you, if they offered a manslaughter, I would have took manslaughter because it's a lighter sentence. 23 years isn't as bad as what second-degree murder. I think second-degree murder can get you like 50, 60. Let me see. How much time can you serve for second-degree murder? 10 to 30 years. Okay, so yeah. Let's see. How much time can you serve for? Is that different though by state? That's Georgia. I'm looking. Yeah, because I'm in Georgia. It's just straight up showing me Georgia. But I do know. Hey, so like in Georgia, see 1 year to maximum, 1 year minimum to maximum 20 years for Georgia in manslaughter. But for second degree, you can get 10 to 30. So second degree is more. Like the minimum and the maximum is higher. Because the minimum of manslaughter, it's only a year. The minimum in second-degree murder is 10 years. So, if, like, he's right to be taking, that stance in it and try to accept manslaughter because you get out a lot easier. So we'll see what the next person gets charged with. But, yeah, long time coming, man. Rest in peace to Chinx. Prayers out to him and his family. Hopefully they finally get justice with the second guy pretty soon here because it's ridiculous how long it's taken. But yeah, we'll keep our eyes posted. Before we continue, I want to give a shout out to Golden Eagle for sponsoring this podcast. Yes, if it wasn't for Golden Eagle, this podcast wouldn't be possible. If you're looking for an energy drink that doesn't tear a hole in your pocket, Golden Eagle energy drink is the one you want to get. Golden Eagle has the smoothest taste with no aftertaste. You don't get acid reflux when you drink it, and you will save a lot of money. So check out Golden Eagle at drinkgoldeneagle.com/DMP. The link is in the description below. And how do you think this podcast would be possible without me having energy to do it? Come on, guys. You guys got to remember this. I need energy to do this stuff, man, because there's a lot of crazy topics. So look how smooth this thing sounds. Look at it. Oh my God, it's fresh. Look at that Golden Eagle. Look at the can. It's so beautiful too, man. Look at that. It's so fresh, man. So fresh. Golden Eagle energy drink. Go to the link description below. That's drinkgoldeneagle.com/DMP. Let's continue the episode. Irv Gotti, man. Murder Boys, Murder Inc. has been accused of sexual assault and rape. No joke. Let's get into the article. Irv Gotti is being sued in a Miami court for alleged sexual assault and abuse that occurred over the course of 2 years. According to a complaint viewed by Hip Hop DX, a woman identified only as Jane Doe filed a lawsuit in the Miami-Dade County on July 11th, accusing Gotti, real name Irving Domingo Lorenzo, of sexually assaulting and abusing her on several occasions from 2020 to 2022 in St. Martin, Miami, and Atlanta. The suit seeks a trial by jury. Among the accusations, Doe alleges Gotti coerced her into having sex with him as soon as they arrived to St. Martin in 2020, a trip they took just after meeting at a poker tournament. He threatened to send her home if she didn't, and due to his power and influence in the music world, she complied, the suit reads. They then reportedly began dating for 2 years, during which Doe suffered constant abuse. Amid the split, the suit alleges Gotti slandered her to his vast social network in and around Los Angeles, leaving her fearful to leave home. As a result of this sexually abusive relationship, plaintiff has suffered severe emotional and psychological harm, for which she had to be committed to a psychiatric ward, the lawsuit reads. These injuries continue and affect the plaintiff to this day. Obviously, I don't know if Irv Gotti's ever been accused of these type of things. I don't think he has. Yeah, I don't know if he has in the history of these things. I know he's had like issues with like artists and blah, blah, blah and stuff, but I don't know. He's been obviously accused of the Murder Inc. funding, drug fund, blah, 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 all that stuff. But of this stuff, I think this is the first time. So there's really right now, there's nothing that we could say that he actually did this stuff. There's no solid proof. You got to give the benefit of the doubt, no matter who the person is. You can't just blatantly come out there and, say that the person did it. That's how I roll. I know, because if Think about it. If you were in any of these people's shoes that get accused of these things, what would you want people to do? You wouldn't want them to believe it immediately. You would want proof. That's why even with the Diddy thing, even though there was a lot of smoke, I still stood the middle ground. Once the Cassie the Cassie surveillance video footage came out, over after that. He's a piece of shit. Fuck him. Lock him up for the rest of his life. It's over. At that point, there's no ifs, ands, or buts in betweens for me. Unfortunately, for some people, there still is. I remember when that video footage came out and Diddy apologized on his Instagram video, people in the comments were saying, who are we to judge? Only God can judge. And that stuff. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, okay? He's a piece of shit, no matter what. Doesn't matter if you're drunk. I don't give a fuck. There's people that get drunk and never put their hands on people. So that's not an excuse. I don't care if you're at the lowest point in your life. Go seek therapy. Get the fuck out of a relationship. Don't be putting hands on people. It's that simple. But for this Irv Gotti thing, this is the first time that I'm aware of, right? Now, there were, shout out to my homie Kenny. He, when I posted 50 Cent's response to this, he talked about how 50 and Eminem always talked about how Irv Gotti and Ja Rule were addicted to drugs and that, they would do crazy things on drugs. So I don't know if Irv Gotti's still on some type of drugs and he did these type of things to this woman while on drugs, but who knows? We'll see as time goes on. Obviously, 50 Cent decided to, put his foot on Irv Gotti's neck, as he should. These are the guys that tried killing him. That's just the reality of the situation. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. These are guys that tried killing him. He's forever going to hate them, as he should. Anyone that's ever tried to kill you, you should always hate for the rest of your life. Unless somehow you have a forgiving heart and you just, I don't know, something happens in your life where you just decide to forgive. But 50 posted the Irv Gotti lawsuit that was reported in my Miami News Times, so shout out to Miami. And then 50 posted a caption saying, "Oh no." In a lawsuit filed in Miami-Dade on July 11th, a woman accuses 54-year-old Gotti of sexually assaulting and abusing her on several occasions from 2020 and 2022 in St. Martin, Miami, and Atlanta. The suit seeks a trial by jury, and then this is where 50 says that legal fees are going to break his ass in half. He ain't got no money. So 50 saying he's not going to be able to afford to protect himself. But, Irv Gotti did sell his masters, if I remember correctly, his masters for... Let me see. I don't know. Let's see. Talk selling his masters for nearly $300 million. Yeah. I don't know if he actually got that $300 million directly, if that was his 100%. He sold 50% of his. So he's got the money. If he actually did that $300 million, 50's capping. Unless 50 knows something that we don't know. But 50's always going to troll and, kind of fabricate things a little bit more than they are. But he posted that. Then he trolled and posted a photo of Irv Gotti, a Murder, Inc. documentary. And he's basically saying that I'm going to make a documentary on this Irv Gotti situation. Basically like Surviving Diddy, Why wouldn't, 50's always going to put his foot on his enemies' necks every chance he gets. 50 got accused of abusing Daphne Joy, but she removed all the posts. And I think she said she removed them because she doesn't want her son seeing that stuff. But wait, 50's got his own thing that she's accusing him of. And we gotta look at it in fairness. We can't just be like, hey, 50 did do it, 50 didn't do it, Irv Gotti did do it, Irv Gotti didn't do it. We have to be fair in all of it. Okay, on the post, it says, G-Unit Film and Television Green Light Gang. Who do it better? Nobody. All roads lead to Shreveport. And he posted the photo of the Murder, Inc. docuseries coming soon. That is hilarious. 50, hey, come on, man. Hire your boy. I'm telling you, I will knock this shit out the park. I'll do the Diddy. I'll do Irv Gotti. I'll do Jay's. No, just joking. But I'll do whoever, man. No, not in that kind of way, by the way. It sounded very, very no homo, no Diddy. I love doing documentaries, man. And if there's actual validity, obviously, to this, in all seriousness, before I troll and stuff, there's actually validity to this stuff, I would love to do it because, all these people that get, they do these type of things and that troll like this and, that don't get exposed for these type of things, they deserve to be called out for this stuff if it's true. Honestly, they should. Their whole reputation should go down the drain. But 50 continued and posted, "Oh my goodness, did I make TMZ write that?" So TMZ posted, Irv Gotti sued for sexual assault. 50 Cent predicts lawsuit will ruin him. And then 50 said, yeah, oh my God, did I make TMZ post that? So we'll keep our eyes posted, man. We'll see if it's actually true. Obviously, shit happens and things happen in life, and we don't know. I'm not gonna never just automatically, even with Lil Reese, man, Mr. Poopy Butthole, who did all that bad shit that he did. He's scamming his fans. I'm not gonna, I always stay in the middle with this because it's unfair, and I wouldn't want nobody, if I ever got accused of some bullshit like this, and I know in my heart of hearts I never did it, I wouldn't want people taking a side, and no, none of you guys should take a side unless you see solid evidence and proof. Just like Diddy, we saw solid evidence and proof. Now we can take the side of fuck him, he's a piece of shit. With Irv Gotti, we haven't seen solid evidence and proof. With Mr. Poopy Butthole, a.k.a. Lil Reese, we haven't seen solid evidence and proof. With 50 getting accused by Daffy Jones, we haven't seen solid evidence and proof. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll keep our eyes posted, and, what comes out of it, we'll see. I'm sure Irv Gotti's going to respond to 50 at a certain point. So, yeah, we'll see. Havoc has officially announced a new Mobb Deep album. I am super excited. I had to talk about this because I can't wait. I will go on YouTube live whenever this drops because obviously we know Prodigy passed away, so it's going to be interesting to see how this album comes along and what unreleased vocals they have of him. But let's go over the article. Havoc has delighted Mobb Deep fans everywhere by teasing unreleased music from the duo produced by the Alchemist. The Queensbridge legend took to Instagram on Monday, July 15th to share the exciting news live from Uncle AI's recording studio. I'm at ALC Studios. New Mobb Deep music coming soon. Let's play the clip. Yes, baby. Let's go. Shout out to Havoc, man.
You already know where I'm at. ALC Studios. New Mobb Deep coming soon. R.I.P. Prodigy. You see Al in the background. You already know what it is. Mobb Deep coming soon, baby. Infinite.
Bro, I can't wait. And Havoc follows us on Instagram, so I need to reach out to him and be like, yo, give us a scoop. Give us something, man. Come on, Havoc. I fuck with you heavy. By the way, one of my favorite beats, and it's underrated for me, is when he produced 50 Cent's fully loaded clip. I got a fully loaded clip. I be on that shit. I got a fully loaded clip. Come on, man. Y'all talking about, man, here's the problem. You guys talk about Curtis like it's a fucking bad album. That's what I hate about people. Do not be disrespecting Curtis. By the way, a lot of the music from the Curtis album have aged really, really well, in my opinion. Here's the thing, and here's how I know that the Curtis album has aged well. And it's not just me, because you guys could listen to me and be like, oh, you're a 50 fan. Of course you're going to say that, right? I was talking to this beautiful woman, very beautiful woman, right? And she happened to be playing Amusement Park by 50. And I was like, yo, you like that song? Like, that's, great track. She's like, yeah, I heard it like a couple years ago. I know it came out a while ago, because she was like, I forget her age. I think it was like 23. She was 23 or 22, something like that, right? And yeah, I was like, if she's 22, by the time the album came out, she was really young. She probably wasn't even, 22. She's 2000. Let's just say she's 22, right? 2024, born in 2002. So, she would have been 5 years old in 2007. So not even known about the album at all. Like, not really cognitive that it even released, right? But she said, I was going through 50 Cent's music, blah, blah, blah. It's Get Rich or Die Trying. Then I heard Amusement Park on YouTube. It just got recommended, and I love the song. And I was just like, yo, most people consider that song like trash. People don't like it for some reason. But she loved it, and I was like, I think over time, more and more people are going to realize that this album was... Now, was it better than Graduation? No. I think Graduation is Kanye's best album of all time. I love Graduation. I damn near think it's a classic. I'm almost willing to go there. Sometimes I listen to the album like, damn, there's no skip. For me, by the way, classic for my definition is no skips, right? So for me, it's like, when I listen to Graduation, to me, there's no skips sometimes. Now, there's some tracks that I'm like, do I really rock with this? So I don't know. Maybe it's a classic to me. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. Damn near, so close. With Curtis, there is a few skips that I don't like. The All of Me record. If I could give you All of Me, that record's all right. Peep Show with Eminem, I'm not a big fan of. Fire with the Buck and Nicole Scherzinger, I'm not a fan of. But other than that, I love the album. So those three tracks, it goes Peep Show, literally in that order. Peep Show, Fire, All of Me. I feel like the Eminem Peep Show record is just not it for some reason. But back to Havoc being a legendary producer, Fully Loaded Clip, one of my favorite tracks that he's produced. I got a fully loaded clip. I don't know how the beat goes. I forget. Fucking fire. But shout out to Havoc, man. Cannot wait for the Mobb Deep album. I will reach out to him and see if maybe he can do an interview. Maybe he's going to stop. I don't know if he'd ever stop by Atlanta. It'd be great. But I definitely want to reach out to him and see, because he does follow the page. I got to show him some love for dropping the album. I don't get on the Diverse Mentality main page. I need to start. I wish I could hire somebody to run the page and just do proper work, but I don't know. Yeah. That's tough in itself, because you got to know hip hop history, and you got to know how to video edit, and kind of not really hardcore video. I'm not asking people to fucking do, because I'm basically asking you to match my video editing, which is not that hard. I'm not the greatest video editor in the world. Now, there's some stuff where I take a lot of time and I make it look really good, but other than that, I'm a pretty average video editor. I can video edit like average stuff. Like, for example, you see my documentaries, guys. I don't know what I'm talking about. If you've seen the documentaries, that's how I edit. There you go. Everything that you've seen that's out on my main channel, and besides this podcast, because I don't edit it, the main channel, everything that you've seen has been edited by me, 95%. Besides the Gibberish documentary, where those graphics, the intro, and the graphics of that bullet flying every time a track would be mentioned, I think that's the only stuff I didn't like graphically edit on there. I didn't do the graphics on those. But everything else I edited. So, yeah. We'll see, man. I can't wait. Mobb Deep album. Can't wait to see what comes out of it. I will be live streaming for that as well. Cannot wait. I don't care if not many people watch it. Doesn't matter to me, man. I'm here to rock out with you guys. I'm here to enjoy a music that I want to enjoy. So, yeah, we'll keep our eyes posted. Big Sean is making his comeback, basically. He appeared on the Eminem Toby record. And I think he dropped something before that, maybe a track, and then it kind of got overshadowed because the Drake and Kendrick thing started beefing up, and then, it just went under the radar. Well, he decided to pop on the radar, or off the radar, whatever the fuck the freestyle platform is called, and drop a freestyle, and people automatically tied the freestyle first. They were thinking it's Kendrick Lamar. But DJ Heard got confirmation from Big Sean that he wasn't dissing Kendrick Lamar, that he was dissing another Gemini, which is Kanye West. So let's go over the article. Big Sean has appeared to take shots at Kanye West in a new freestyle for On the Radar Radio. Rapping over Aaliyah's classic hit, If Your Girl Only Knew, the Detroit rapper opened the freestyle by seemingly referencing Ye's disparaging comments about him on the 2021 episode of Drink Champs, where he said signing Big Sean to Good Music was the worst thing he ever did. He said this: I had to switch the home team because they committed treason. Guys looking for engagement like they got their knee bent. I got better things to do than to find someone to beef with. Then he later said, man, this industry is terrible. I can't even vouch. I've seen grown men get matching tattoos for the clout. These lyrics are obvious dig at Kanye, who got identical tattoos with Lil Uzi Vert and Steve Lacy in 2022. The trio all got the phrases we're here forever, technically, inked on their biceps. But yeah, listen, guys, I don't know how to say this without sounding like a hater, because it does sound like it's a hater, but I'm not. I love, Big Sean has talent, but I just can never get into him as an artist. His voice just doesn't do it for me. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if he has his run, he does his thing, he battles. I think what Big Sean is realizing is that he was in the conversation of being with Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick, right? The big four, and even who else was in the conversation? You could even throw Wale in there at the time when they all blew up in 2008, 2009, 2010. Kid Cudi even had his own type of style that people were considering for, a lot of people were Meek Mill, a lot of people were thrown in that conversation, but those artists didn't last because they weren't consistent. Big Sean ended up taking a break, hiatus for his mental health, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And I think he feels he missed that boat. And now he's like, you know what? I saw what Drake and Kendrick did with their battle, how big it got. Let's see if he's not saying let's see if I can start a battle and become as big as, no. But I think what he's saying is listen, let me stamp myself in hip hop and be like, listen, I'm not just some scrub that forgot about rapping and doesn't want to do it anymore. I'm here and I want to step to the next level and do my thing. Now, is that possible? Yeah, of course. It's never too late, in my opinion, for an artist to step to the next level and become something bigger. 2 Chainz did it. A lot of artists that have fell off or just weren't hot at a certain moment came back, got hot again, and did their thing. It's very possible. But you also got to reinvent yourself. 2 Chainz reinvented himself. I think 2 Chainz is the best story when it comes to somebody that got cold, got hot back again, because he was known as Titty Boy, had the duffel bag boy with the Play a Circle, and had the big record, blah, blah, blah. Cooled off, kind of wasn't popping, rebranded himself as 2 Chainz, and got popping again. Lil Durk is another example of that. He had a second leg in his career, because when he started out, he was hot with the whole old block, this ain't what you want. I love that record, by the way. Then he had that record, Like Me with Jeremiah, signed to Def Jam, did his thing. But then he started going more towards the female lovey-dovey route and kind of fell off in a lot of people's eyes. People weren't really rocking with the music, and then he got back, did collab album with Lil Baby, started doing track records with Drake and all this stuff, and boom, he had another run. So there's a huge possibility that Big Sean can have another run and do his thing. Same with Wale, man. I think Wale is one of the most talented artists that came out of that group. He just, I don't know what why he kind of took his gas. I think people were, the problem with Wale is he was taking too much of criticism on Twitter, and like people would clown him too much, and he took it too personal. I think Wale has seen my content, so shout out to Wale. I would love to interview him if he ever wanted to come back and do an interview, because he hasn't done an interview, I don't think, in ages. If you ever wanted to do an interview on a platform, Wale, definitely hit me up. I would love to do an interview with you. I think that Ambition album is one of my favorite albums that came out in 2010s. Huge fan. So, we'll see what comes out of this. Big Sean, by the way, after this diss, sorry, I almost ended it there, but there's more that happened. After this diss, a Kanye fan, quote unquote, on one of these Discords or platforms, I don't know which one, leaked most of Big Sean's album because he was dissing Kanye. So now Big Sean's starting to get ahead of it. He's starting to drop tracks. He just dropped a preview of a song he has with Alchemist. And he's saying, well, I guess I got to drop these tracks before the leakers get ahead to it. So unfortunate type of rollout for his album, but we'll see if he can kind of come back with that. But we'll keep our eyes posted. 42 Dugg. He dropped his debut album. I haven't checked it out yet, but he did do an interview on Breakfast Club. I did check out that interview for the most part. And he talks about Eminem, because 42 Dugg is from Detroit, Michigan. I'm surprised Eminem hasn't collaborated with him. I do believe a while ago 42 Dugg did say something bad about Eminem or something. I don't remember what the hell he said. But then I don't know if he backtracked or he is defending Eminem, though, in this new article. I don't know if he ever said anything bad about him. I'm going to take that back. I don't remember. I know he said something along the lines of Eminem, and maybe that might have affected Eminem working with him, because Eminem usually, if there's a Detroit artist that's popping, he'll work with them. Like he's liked to put on for Detroit. I mean, Baby Tron, like I said, the Toby record with Big Sean, that's a new Detroit artist that's coming up. So let's go over the article. 42 Dugg may understand why Skilla Baby made the claim that people in Detroit don't view Eminem as their GOAT, but he doesn't agree with that claim. So Skilla Baby, I'm assuming, because I have no idea who the hell Skilla Baby is. I'm not even going to lie to y'all, man. Let's see if he's from Detroit. He probably is. Sada Baby. No, that's Sada Baby. Is that the same guy? Sada Baby, Skilla Baby? Too many damn babies, bro. Lil Baby, Sada Baby, Skilla Baby. I don't know. Anyways, Sada Baby is from Detroit. So did he change his name? Skilla Baby, Sada Baby? I don't know. Regardless, I'm assuming he's from Detroit. Yeah, he is from Detroit. He's a Detroit-based rapper, blah, 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 and protege of Sada Baby. Okay, so he's the protege of Sada Baby. Okay, that makes sense. Now I'm more in tune with the youth. I don't look like a fucking old head. Anyways, artist from Detroit says people don't view Eminem as the GOAT. 42 Dugg understands, but he ends up defending him. So let's play the clip.
I got to ask you, because you're from Detroit, did you see Skilla Baby say that most people in Detroit wouldn't say Eminem is the best rapper from Detroit?
I ain't seen him say that, but that's probably, you know what I'm saying, how they feel.
Mm-hmm. Why? Just because it's a different generation?
Or not relatable? Yeah. Probably both. Mm-hmm. Some people ain't. Like, the new kids don't even know about Eminem. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. How would they? Mm-hmm. You would have to, really be a music person, to go back. I know. So that's always my card when somebody get to bringing up somebody from somewhere else. I'm like, yeah, we got Eminem. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Mm-hmm. I feel like he did. He did GOAT.
But he also didn't make, he didn't make street music.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
It probably ain't touch you.
But he made deep music.
Yeah.
I feel like listening to that type of stuff is the reason I can make songs like Need You and Fresh and Fed, because I always was them type of songs. Like I go listen to Toy Soldiers or Stan. Like
You could tell a story.
that was my favorite songs. So when it's my turn to make real song, like I already damn near know how to channel it, like, cause I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a Stan type of vibe, or I'm looking for a Toy. You know what I'm saying? And people probably ain't. I mean, you know, it's a new generation of kids, so they probably ain't even probably listen to Eminem nothing.
Perfectly said. You know, most of these newer artists that come out either weren't born when Eminem was in his prime, which is crazy to say. I know it makes me sound old, even though I'm not. They weren't born when Eminem was in his prime, or they were born, but they were really young. I was really young. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm 29, so at the time when Eminem was in his prime, I was, what do you count Eminem's prime? I'm not gonna say 1990, so let's do 2000 till 2004, right? Let's say that's like his first leg of his prime. Then he had the second leg of 2009 till 2000 and I don't know, whatever the fuck you want to end it off, 2013. Let's just say that was the second leg of his, not prime, but second run that was really, really big. Obviously, Relapse, Recovery, and even Marshmello's LP2 did a lot in sales and blah, 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 and did their thing. Then he has his third leg, which is doing all right. You know, he's still holding up, but whatever. That's a whole different conversation. 2000 to 2004 was obviously Eminem's prime. Millions of records. First week did 1 million. First week twice. Like it was nothing. He did it on Marshmello's LP, then did it on the Eminem show. Marshmello's LP did 1.78, and Eminem show did 1.3. So back-to-back 1 million first week like it was nothing. So that's his prime. When he was in his prime in 2000 to 2004, I was 6 years old till 9 years old. 6 to 9 years old. But I still listened to music. I still understood Eminem, but I didn't know like all the shit Eminem was talking about and, you know, all this stuff, right? I just liked the music. Cleaning Out My Closet was a record I loved. I didn't really understand the story behind it. I know he had an issue with his mom, but I didn't know all the details and stuff. And I didn't really listen fully to the albums as a kid. I would just listen to the singles because I couldn't afford to buy the albums, you know. I could only afford what my sister could afford to buy for me. My parents wouldn't buy it, obviously. They didn't give two fucks about what I was listening to. They didn't give a fuck about any of that stuff to buy. They would buy me toys and stuff like that, but not music like this. My sister, though, she was 16, 17, 18, whatever age at around that time. She was in high school. She had a car. She had money because she was working at McDonald's. So she would buy me whatever I loved. And then she would buy stuff that she loved, obviously, first. And then it would be something that I loved because I would just listen it through her. That's why I ended up getting the Get Rich or Die Trying album, because my sister bought it for me. I said, I love 21 Questions song. I love In the Club. And those are the songs I kept hearing on the radio. I didn't know about Mini Men. I didn't hear those records on the radio. Mind you guys, I was living in Iowa, so this is like as far away from hip hop as you could possibly be. This is an area where no artists rarely ever come, right? I never saw 50 Cent come through there. Whenever they actually did I'll never forget as a kid, 12, 13 years old, seeing a This Is 50 clip, and they would walk, they drove past, they were doing a tour with the bus, and DJ Who Kid drove, they were talking about Iowa, and they're like, oh, we're going past Iowa, this place is all it is cornfields, and they were just clowning it, and I was like, yeah, unfortunately, that's where I live at, and you guys are never going to do a concert here. But, hey, it is what it is. He never did a concert. That's one thing I can tell 50 is, like, in America, you missed Iowa as a concert place. Everywhere else you've probably been, but not, usually 50's toured all over, so he's always, you know, he's toured all over the fucking planet. He's touched probably every ground ever. But, yeah, with all that being said, a lot of these artists were super young or weren't even born when Eminem was in his prime. Now, when Eminem had his second run, that's where I feel like the excuse for saying that they didn't know about Eminem kind of fades away, because during his second run, he did have Recovery, he did have Relapse, and he did have Marshmello's LP2. But these guys, when they listen, what came out of Recovery that would make gangsta rappers listen to? Maybe Not Afraid, if that, but Love the Way You Lie and these type of records, like, because these singles are where people would hear first and then the albums, right? But at least 42 Dugg says, hey, I disagree with that. A lot of inspiration when I do songwriting, storytelling, real records, I listen to Eminem. So shout out to 42 Dugg for that. hopefully Eminem and 42 Dugg can do a collab. That'd be really cool, man. I would love to hear that. But yeah, just interesting take, man, because you guys got to remember a lot of these newer artists, unless they're really hip-hop historians, like a lot of you guys that listen to this podcast have a huge passion for hip-hop. Actually, all of you guys do, because you guys can listen to me talk for an hour every single time, twice a week, then obviously you love hip-hop. So with us having a passion for hip-hop, we can't fathom somebody not knowing the history of an artist, because we love it. We go to the history. We see who started this, who did this, what album was this, kind of listen to this album. No, we know the history. But most people are casual. What surprises me is you being a casual fan and being an artist. That makes no sense. Like, if you're an artist, you should study the whole history of something, especially if you're a rapper. Like, you should study all the history of it. That way you can be really, really good. But a lot of these newer artists don't give a fuck about the history. They're in there, make their music, make their money, and they're out. Microwave. But that's why they don't last. It's really all that is. It's a difference between somebody caring about the craft and the culture and studying the history and building and learning versus somebody who's just here for the moment to get the money, get the fame, get hot, and dip. But yeah, that's my take on it. Shout out to 42 Dugg. Great response to it. And hopefully, something comes out of that. Billboard Hot 100. Let's get into it. And Kendrick Lamar, round of applause, man. Back to number one with Not Like Us. I know when the video came out and the charts came out, people thought, the video didn't do anything for the song. It didn't go back to number one. You guys got to remember, it's a delay in the charts. What happens that week, current week, shows on the charts the next week. If that makes any sense. So there is a delay in the charts. Finally, the video came out. It boosted the track. Track is back to number one. This is the longest running number one for Kendrick Lamar at 2 weeks in a row. I know a lot of people were clowning that. Drake stands were clowning that. But, hey, doesn't matter, man. I think Kendrick isn't the one to make pop records and look for hits. He's never really been that type of artist. He just does music, and it is what it is. Not Like Us, back to number one. I don't know if it's going to stay at number one. It'd be interesting to see if it lasts another week at number one. But it's stayed in the top 10 for a really, really long time. I mean, it's been on the charts for 10 weeks, so this is clearly a number one record. Any song, and this is what I always say, any song that stays in the top 10 after it debuts at number one, because I'm talking about songs that debut at number one, right? Songs that debut at number one and then fall off after that, I don't consider those real number ones. I consider that just hype. But if you debut at number one and then the next week you're like number four, that's still a great, great thing. If you're in the top 10 after the next week, I still consider that debut at number one still good because there's still interest clearly in the record. It's not just something off of hype. But if you debut at number one and then fall off to number 23 or 17 or 44 or something, then that was all it was hype. People checked out. But I've said that millions of times. That's the way I roll with it. Number two, Shabuzi, a bar song, Tipsy. That organically grew its way to number one, so I have huge respect for that song. Shout out to Shabuzi. Number three, I Had Some Help, Post Malone, Morgan Wallen. Number four, $1 Million Baby, Tommy Richmond. Number five, Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter. Number six, Please, 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 Sabrina Carpenter. Number seven, Lies, 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 and Morgan Wallen. It's hilarious. Two songs with three of the same words in their title. Please, 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 and Lies, Lies, Lies. That debuted at number 7 from Morgan Wallen. Number 8, Too Sweet, Hosier. Number 9, Beautiful Things, Benson Bone. Number 10, Lose Control, Teddy Swims. Going down the list, Like That, Future, Metro Boomin, Kendrick Lamar. Number 17, Houdini, Eminem. Number 18, Wannabe, Glorilla, Megan Thee Stallion. Number 26, Toby, Eminem, Big Sean, and Baby Tron. Went all the way up to number 27. This song was released in a weird way with a single in the video, so the video obviously boosted it up a lot. It didn't have like a full week for the chart. That's why it debuted at number 95, which is a very low number for Eminem, but it boosted up because of the actual music video went up to number 27. So that might be its peak unless the album release is going to boost it up a little bit more, which is a possibility. Going down, Whiskey, Moneybag Yo, Morgan Wallen, number 29. TGIF, Glorilla, number 32. Tough, Quavo, Lana Del Rey, number 33. Debut. Yeah, Glow, Glorilla, number 38. Get It Sexy, Sexy Red, number 52. Band for Band, Central Street, Lil Baby, number 53. Euphoria, Kendrick Lamar, number 60. Type Shit, Future, Metro Boomin, number 66. 101, Gunna, number 72. And that's it. Childish Gambino, Lithuania, number 93 debut. Interesting. But yeah, That's it for the Billboard Hot 100, and that is it for today's episode of the Diverse Mentality Podcast, powered by the one and only Golden Eagle Energy Drink. Get your Golden Eagle Energy Drinks at drinkgoldeneagle.com/DMP. That's drinkgoldeneagle.com/DMP. Please support them because they've sponsored all season 4 of the podcast. So get yourself a case of them. I really appreciate it. It would mean the world to me, guys. Obviously, Spotify, Deezer, Pocket Casts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, check us out there. YouTube, subscribe to us there. Share, like, all that. I appreciate it. Have an amazing night, day, whenever you listen to this, and peace.